Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the sixth day of our college fair. We have Stacy here who will be representing Florida Tech University for tonight. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box and we will get to it later. So hi, Stacy, take it away.
Thank you, Caitlin. Hello, everybody. I guess I'm at the tail end of your week-long college fair, aren't I? Well, like Caitlin said, my name is Stacy Reeder, and I'm the Associate Director of International Admission at the Florida Institute of Technology. Florida Tech is located on Florida's Space Coast. This is the home of the United States Space Program. In fact, Florida Tech was started by the folks at NASA back in 1958, so we've always had close ties to the United States Space Program and NASA. Over the years, the Space Coast has grown to include a lot of private space companies too, and we've become the aerospace hub of the entire United States. So most of your aerospace companies have a branch here in Melbourne, and in fact, L3Harris, this is their world headquarters. We also have large programs from Northrop Grumman, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Thales, which is a French aerospace company, and Embraer, which is a Brazilian aerospace company. General Electric has a big operation here. We have a lot of national companies as well as small startups, which we will talk about later in the presentation. As I mentioned, we're the home of the United States Space Program. So in addition to NASA, we also have Blue Origin, we have SpaceX, and we have the United Launch Alliance, and again, smaller space companies also. So in addition to our vibrant space and aerospace industries, we're also a high-tech area. In fact, this is the nation's fourth largest high-tech workforce here in Melbourne. In addition to these wonderful job opportunities, we also are minutes away from some of the world's most beautiful beaches. You are literally 10 minutes by car with traffic to the beaches. If you wanted to ride a bicycle or a skateboard, it would take you 20 or 25 minutes to get there, and there are sidewalks the whole way. We are not a small town, but we're not a large city either. We're what is considered a medium-sized city. Our population in Melbourne and the surrounding communities is about 1 million people. So we are 1 hour away from the huge city of Orlando, and that's where you would find the theme parks, Disney World, SeaWorld, Universal Studios. And then we're 3 hours by car from the huge metropolis of Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So you can be in a large city in an hour, or you can enjoy our medium-sized city and the beautiful beaches and the tropical climate all year long. Florida Tech is a little different from other universities in that we believe in learning by doing. Yes, you have to attend class and you'll have the occasional exam and papers to do, etc. But our students really enjoy learning here because they learn by doing. We believe in an education that is very active, that is very personal, that is very intimate, where you know your professors, you know your classmates, and you all work together to learn through discovery. Research is a huge component of learning here, and even our freshmen get involved in research. As an undergraduate, we do want you involved in research, and our research teams consist of undergraduates, master's candidates, PhD candidates, and professors all on the same research teams. In this photo, you're looking at a research team that's building a race car, and they're in what's called the Harris Student Design Center. And this is a big cavernous space where students can build their larger products like race cars, boats, hovercraft, airplanes, rockets, etc. One thing that's also unique is Florida Tech directs enters into your major. So you're not going to do 2 years of core prereq coursework. You will start classes in your major right away your first semester. You'll be in the laboratories doing experiments your first semester. You can even get involved in research your first year if you would like. So it really, how involved you get is up to you, but you will be learning and starting in your major right away, and that is unique in the United States. The university has 5,000 students. 3,000 of them are going to be your age. They are undergraduate students earning bachelor degrees, but 2,000 of our students are slightly older than you, and that they're earning master's degrees and PhD degrees. The university is made up of 4 colleges. We have the College of Aeronautics, the College of Business, the College of Engineering and Science, and the College of Psychology and Liberal Arts. We're probably most well known for our College of Science and Engineering. In fact, 70% of the student body is located in the College of Science and Engineering. with 60% of our students studying an engineering degree of some kind. However, we're also very well known for our aeronautics. We do train pilots. Right now, we're training Saudi Airlines. We just finished a couple of years ago training all of Turkish Airlines and another Irish Airlines. Our College of Psychology, the clinical psychology doctoral degree, which is a PsyD, is ranked in the top 3 of the country. So in all colleges, you're going to find things that we do very, very well, depending on your interests. Most of the degrees offered here at Florida Tech are STEM degrees. We are a STEM designated university. In the College of Aeronautics, and I don't know who's interested in aeronautics, but these are the different majors that we offer. And you can do all of them with or without the flight option. And by flight option, I'm talking about learning to fly airplanes, becoming a commercial airline pilot. Not everyone who wants to be in the industry of aviation or space wants to fly. So we do offer our majors with or without that flight option. Out at the airport, which is 10 minutes from campus, we do have about 50 airplanes that we own in our own hangar and our own simulators, where we do teach the students how to fly. And then we have our type ratings over in Orlando, which again is 1 hour away. These are the degrees that we offer in the College of Business. So you can get an undergraduate degree in all of these areas and then go on to get an MBA in 3 different areas. In the College of Engineering, these are the different majors that we offer. Most of these start at the bachelor level and go straight through to the PhD level. We do have a few that are only for master's candidates. You can see computer information systems there and information assurance and cybersecurity. However, information assurance and cybersecurity is a concentration in computer science at the undergraduate level. So you can see we have every area of engineering pretty well covered. And these are the majors that we offer in the College of Science. I'm often asked if we have pre-medical majors, and yes, we have 6 of them. So if you're wanting to go into medical school later in your own country or another country, we do have 6 pre-med options in addition to all these sciences. And then these are the majors that we have in the College of Psychology. For those of you who are interested in psychology, we do have one of the world's foremost research and treatment centers for autism. It's called the Scott Center for Autism. And we have students who come from all over the world and parents who come from all over the world to have their children treated here and researched here. So if you're going to be a psychology major, the Scott Center is a tremendous source of internships and practical work experience for you. In the College of Psychology and Liberal Arts, we also refer to journalism majors as well as some communication majors and then some humanities majors. One thing that students really enjoy is our music minor. Math and music tend to go hand in hand as far as how the brain works. So we do have a lot of students who are very involved in our music minor, our music program, and our theater program. Students who want to go to university should be looking beyond just the bachelor degree. You do want to think further down the road. You want to think, okay, what am I going to go into as a career? What do I want to go into graduate school? Does my career require a graduate degree after my bachelor's degree? Those are all the things you need to be thinking about as you go through your bachelor program. And Florida Tech offers 3 unique programs for students who are thinking ahead. For those of you who want to go on and earn an MBA, and by the way, for those of you who are thinking of engineering, an MBA is often an excellent graduate degree that complements an engineering degree very well. Engineering is very, very technical, where and you don't get a lot of time to take many electives. So if you want to get into the management side or you want to own your own business someday, getting an MBA might be a good idea. But we have programs where you can get a bachelor degree and an MBA, get both of them in 4 years, 5 years, or 6 years, depending on how quickly you want to work and how many classes you want to load on each semester. So you have 3 options there with an MBA. We also have something called the fast track, and the fast track is where you can earn a bachelor degree in anything and then get your master's degree in anything. And you can do that in 5 years instead of 6. So that is another option, because traditionally in the United States, a bachelor degree is 4 years and a master's degree is 2 years. So anytime that you combine your bachelor's and your master's degree together, you're going to save time and you're going to save money. And that is always a good thing. Our last unique offering that we have are our co-ops and internships. We do have a formal hybrid program for our engineering students, in which we have 8 multinational companies who can't wait to get their hands on you, and they'd like to hire you and pay you if you will intern with them. And you get 3 semesters of work experience and hopefully 3 job offers at the end. But we also have the non-formal co-ops and internships that our career management services offices are happy to help you with. We do have 3 hiring fairs a year, which I'll get into in a little bit later. So here are 3 programs for those students who are thinking ahead, and I know that they want to get a graduate degree or they really want some practical work experience while they're studying. There's more to university than just studying. You also are going to need to live and enjoy life. So at Florida Tech, there's something for everybody. We have all athletics. We're NCAA Division II, so we do have athletic scholarships for those of you who may be elite athletes. But we have over 100 clubs and activities and there's something for everybody. So no matter what your interest is outside of the classroom, we probably have a club that has it. And if not, there's seed money through the dean of students, and those who want to start a club that we don't have, you can get some support from the university to start a club. I always use a former student who used to work for me. I guess she enrolled here about 8 years ago now, and we did not have a street dancing club when she enrolled, and she was really into hip hop and street dancing. So she started her own club, and she's been gone now about 4 or 5 years. And the club she started all those years ago still has about 50 members in it. So definitely have time and the resources to start a club if there's something that we don't offer. I would say that the most popular clubs and activities at Florida Tech, because of our, the STEM students that we attract, are the academic clubs, like the Rocket Club, the Chemistry Club, the Psychology Club. Then the second most popular clubs are the international clubs, and you will see why in a moment. We do have Greek life. It's just not very popular here. Again, the more intellectual clubs are the ones that are more popular. Anime, gaming, esports, those are all huge here. And we do have our own esports arena also. Here we go, international students. Florida Tech is one of the most international campuses in the United States. A full 1/3 of our student body is international, and our students come from over 100 different countries. So knowing that, you know that you're going to have people from the Philippines here, you're going to have people from South Asia here. In fact, you have people from all over the world. 1/3 of our student population is international. 1/3 of it comes from the state of Florida, which is a huge state, so even most Floridians are far from home. And then the other 1/3 of the population comes from the other 49 states within the United States. So consequently, our campus is very warm and welcoming because most students are far from home when they attend here. And when students leave home, they do want to create a second family, a second community from home. And so you're going to find the campus very warm and welcoming. Because we do have so many international students, we do have a very strong international student and scholar services office and career services office that are here to support you as you're looking for internships and jobs, and here to support you with your immigration needs and any questions you may have about that. We have been in face-to-face classes through COVID. We were in face-to-face classes all of academic year 2020 and 2021, and we will open in 2 weeks for the school year 21-22. And again, classes will be face-to-face. And here's what we're doing to keep everybody safe in COVID. We're all aware that the Delta variant is on the rise around the globe. So Florida Tech is going back a little bit into more strenuous COVID preparations than we have been in the last 6 months. For the last 6 months, we've been mask free. We haven't needed social distancing. We've been back to normal. But with the Delta variant, we are going back to social distancing for those who are unvaccinated. Those who are vaccinated don't need to worry about that. We are all wearing masks in our buildings again, even our vaccinated people. We have gone back to increased safety cleanings across all campus facilities, the residence halls, the dining facilities, the classrooms, the recreational areas, etc. We are limiting public access to campus again. Students can go wherever they want, faculty, staff, wherever they want. But we are limiting the public in that they have to check in and wear a badge when they're on campus, and when they are indoors, wear masks and obey social distancing. For those international students whose countries are still not allowing travel, we are allowing those students to join their face-to-face classes remotely, but everybody else, international or domestic, who can travel is traveling back to campus and will be joining us in 2 weeks from tomorrow. We're so excited to welcome them. But Melbourne has been a very safe place throughout the coronavirus. People have been very considerate and very careful with each other's health. So I think the numbers that you hear about around the world that are worse tend to come from very large urban areas. And that's not Melbourne. We're a medium-sized city. So I mentioned that we have 2 hiring events every year. We have one in the fall and one in the spring, in which we bring in about 60 to 65 companies to interview our students for internships, co-ops, and jobs after graduation. OPTs and CPTs are huge here. You all are still in high school. You may not know what those are. A CPT is legal work experience while you are a student on your F1 visa. And then an OPT is legal work experience after you graduate with your degree on your student visa. And as far as OPTs go, you can work one at the end of every degree. So you can work one at the end of an associate's degree, again at the end of a bachelor's degree, again at the end of a master's, and again at the end of the PhD. To work as CPT, you simply need to be an enrolled student who's been in your degree program for at least 1 year. And again, those opportunities are off campus with companies, and they are legal on your F1 visa. For those of you who want to work on your campus, you can legally do that on your F1 visa, up to 20 hours per week. Most undergraduates tend to work about 10 hours a week. So back to our hiring fairs, we have one in the fall, one in the spring. And I think if you look at this list on my screen, you're going to recognize every single corporate name because they are multinational companies. And all of these companies do hire our international students. Obviously, there are not 60 to 65 company names on this list, but you know that there's about 40 more who come to our hiring fairs. And then, like all universities around the world, when executives are in town for meetings, they do schedule interviews for students with our career services department. So companies are here every day interviewing students when they're here on business travel. All right, so how much does it cost to attend Florida Tech? Well, since this is an undergraduate audience, I focused on the undergraduate costs. If you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see what the tuition costs are. When you're talking to universities, please do not limit your financial questions to asking how much is your tuition. Because if you look at the tuition costs on the right-hand side of the screen, and then you look at the total costs, which is on the bottom of the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the two totals are very different. The total costs I've put in gold, and the tuition costs I've put in white, so you can see the differences. What makes up those differences? The costs that are there at the top, the living expenses and your incidentals. So do, when you're talking to universities, ask, what are the total costs for 1 year of study? And that is how you will get an honest answer of what the total cost will cost you. And as you're applying to universities, please be sure that the universities that you're applying to do fit within your family's budget. Do ask what the scholarship opportunities are at universities. Most universities are going to have some kind of scholarship that will offset the total cost for you. Most of the scholarships come off the cost of tuition. And I will get into Florida Tech's in just a moment. So what you want to do is ask, what is the total cost for 1 year? What kind of scholarship would it be possible to obtain? And then once you do the math, total cost minus scholarship, that amount that is left needs to fit within your family's budget. If it doesn't, please don't apply to that school because it's going to be an exercise in frustration for you. So do your homework and make sure that the balance of what it's going to cost you does fit in your family's budget. All right, so let's talk about scholarships. At Florida Tech, we offer partial academic merit scholarships to our international students. Those are based strictly on your GPA, so your grades. We are going to recalculate the grades that you've earned in grades 9, 10, 11, and thus far in grade 12. And we will come up with a recalculated GPA. Those of you taking more advanced curriculums like AP, IB, or Cambridge, we weight those classes. And then with your GPA, you could qualify for a partial scholarship. At Florida Tech, the scholarships range from $10,000 a year up to $16,000 a year. So let me go back one screen. So if you look at the total costs, which are there on the bottom, let's say that somebody wanted to be an engineer, that is in the STEM fields. So the total cost for 1 year would be $58,764. If an international student earned $10,000 a year in scholarship, now what they need to figure would be in the family budget would be $48,764. So you would subtract your scholarship from the total amount to see what your balance would be. So again, scholarships at Florida Tech for academic year 2021-22 are going to range from $10,000 a year up to $16,000 a year. How does one get one of those scholarships? It's easy. You simply apply to the university. Every single student who applies to the university is automatically calculated for scholarship. There's no extra application to be considered for scholarship. So then how does one apply to the university? Well, again, it couldn't be easier. First of all, you need to complete an application. You may either do Florida Tech's application or you can do the US Common Application. Either one is fine. Regardless, it is free. We do not have an application fee. Next, you need to upload your transcripts. There is an upload button on our application. If you do the US Common Application, your college counselor will upload your transcripts for you. A transcript is a list of all the classes that you've taken in high school and the grades that you've earned in each class. If you are doing a curriculum that has a national exam or a year-end exam, like AP or IB or O levels and A levels in the Cambridge system, then we also need your exam scores. Obviously, you apply to university in your final year of high school. You haven't finished it yet. That's normal. No university expects to see your grade 12 results until you have finished grade 12, and you apply to university before you finish grade 12. Don't worry about that. That's the way the system works. Most people are very consistent. We know that the way you perform in grades 9, 10, and 11 is probably going to be very consistent with the way that you're going to perform in grade 12. So we admit you before grade 12 is finished. That is normal at universities all over the world. The last thing that is required for entrance into a university is English proficiency. If your native language or your first language when you were a baby is not English, you will need to prove English proficiency before you can enter that university. At most universities, you don't need English proficiency to get admitted, but you do need it to get a student visa and to enroll, to actually start classes. The other three things on this list we don't require for our international applicants. We strongly recommend them because we feel it enhances your application and helps you get in, but they are not required. And that is why I put them in a different color. A letter of recommendation from a teacher we recommend, but it is not required. I do like reading letters of recommendations from teachers because it gives me an insight into how you are as a learner. Your behavior in the classroom, not just behavior, but how you learn, how vocal you are, your questions, your ability to process information. I also like getting an essay. An essay gives me a glimpse into your personality. I can look at your test scores, I can look at your grades and see what kind of a student you are. But I also am trying to determine if you're going to be happy and thrive in the community that is my campus. So when you answer an essay question, I get a glimpse into your personality. On Florida Tech's university application, we don't have any essay questions. We encourage you to just do a personal statement or use one of the props from the Common Application. That is fine, but I really do want to learn something unique about you and learn something about you to help me determine if you're going to be happy on my campus and really thrive. The last thing are SAT and ACT scores. For international students, Florida Tech has never required them. So that's not something you need to worry about, particularly in a pandemic. However, if you are a US citizen and living abroad, then you do need to take the SAT or ACT. But if you're not a US citizen or permanent resident, then the SAT and ACT is not something you need to worry about for Florida Tech. We do not have application deadlines. We have rolling admissions. That means that as soon as your application file is complete, we will give you an admission answer and we will let you know how much scholarship that we're offering you. And so having that information allows you to make the best decision for you and your family. Are there any questions? I've spoken for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So now I'm going to open the floor to questions. And I also urge you to follow us on social media. We're on all of these channels and have people monitoring them. On the screen, you will find the contact information of our physical address, as well as our phone number. The toll-free number is just good in the US. So if you're calling from outside the US country code is 1. There's the office phone number. And then you would use the admission@fit.edu email address because you're bachelor degree candidates. So Caitlin, I'm ready to open it up for questions and answers.
Hi, I'll actually be passing it on to Conroy because I have to leave, but Conroy has already gotten the
Okay.
questions that
Hi,
I
Conroy.
Hi, Stacy. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for including me. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to talk to these students. So I'm happy to answer any questions anyone might have.